What's up, everybody? Good night, good night, good night. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in to the late shift. We got something to talk about. Let's hit the intro and we're going to have a conversation on it. Welcome, everybody. Hit in the comments if you can tell who the little blurred out guy on the thumbnail was today. Curious if you guys could figure out who we're about to talk about. The market is wrong on something. And it just dawned on me today, and I don't even know which side of it we're wrong on. But we are either way off on one, Trevor Lawrence, or we're off on the offense in general. The reason I say that is, I was just looking through ADPs over the weekend, kind of doing what I do on Saturday when I'm not streaming Saturday night, just, rethinking stances I have on guys and things like that. And we are taking BTJ at the end of the first round, first pick in the second round, whatever it is. We're taking Hunter as a top 50. His ADP is around 43 right now. That's good for wide receiver 27. So better than a few teams' number one wide receivers, essentially. Even the tight end Strange, he's not expensive, but he goes in the 130s, and he's ahead of guys like Ertz and Fryermuth, people like that. But so it kind of dawned on me that like one of the two is wrong. Like we can't be drafting BTJ at the end of round one and Travis Hunter as a top 45 pick and Trevor Lawrence also being as far down the QB pool as he is. I mean, if BTJ and Hunter are going to pay off their prices this year, there are a whole lot of guys in front of Trevor Lawrence who we should be drafting Trevor Lawrence in front of, in my opinion. You guys tell me what you think. Like I said, I don't know which side of it we're wrong on, but either Lawrence is freaking really undervalued and the Jags offense is about to be lighting it up, or people are going to be highly disappointed by the season that Travis Hunter possibly puts up as pick 43. I don't think you're going to be too disappointed in BTJ. I mean, he showed last year with different coaches who we didn't really like or we don't think are that good. He showed last year that he's a stud and he could ball with those guys. I'm going to go ahead and flip over. We'll continue talking a little more, but I want to go ahead and get into draft because it takes a little bit of time sometimes to film. We're going to try the 30-second eliminator, and I'm going to do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guys want to hop in it with me, only 2 spots left, so get in quick if you can. That one should feel pretty quick. When I can get them to feel, I like the 30-second ones on stream. It just gives me a little time to talk. A couple nights ago, Thursday night, I think it was, we had some mishaps on the 20-second clock when I was streaming, and the team turned out kind of a mess. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. Y'all know I haven't been that high on Hunter, and then everybody's like thinking that they're going to be amazing because Liam Cohen went over there, but I actually made this comment on somebody else's stream, not even really meaning it. I was just kind of like joking around, honestly. But then the more I think about it, I'm like, what if I was kind of right? And I said that Baker Mayfield is the OC whisperer instead of, because I remember 2 years ago, after the year that Baker had with Canales, everybody was like, Canales is the QB whisperer. Then he went to Carolina, and Bryce played good at the end of last year, but he definitely wasn't like, oh my God, this guy completely changed Bryce Young around. But before he took the job in Carolina, we were calling him the QB whisperer. And now everybody's just so like Liam Cohen pilled and thinking he's going to go into Jacksonville and they're going to be the same offense and this elite offense that Tampa was overall last year. But what if it's not been the coordinators the whole time? What if it's just Tampa's got some really good players and Baker finally figured it out and we're not giving him the credit that he deserves? I don't know. Just something I was thinking about. Because, like I said, something's wrong. Either we are drafting Trevor Lawrence way later than he should go, and that offense is just about to go nuts this year. Because if Brian Thomas pays off his tag, which of Brian Thomas and Hunter, Thomas is definitely the one that I draft, and definitely the one that I feel the safest as far as paying off his price. Hunter, you guys know I'm iffy on. But if he's even close to producing at a top 45 pick, he's going about 43 right now. If he's even close to that, then that means that Trevor Lawrence is going to have an amazing season. And he should probably be going a lot higher than some of the guys that he's going. I mean, we're taking J.J. McCarthy right after him, and we've never even really seen him play an NFL game before. That counts, at least. And I mean, I know the guys in front of him aren't no slouches. Jordan Love and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has a top receiver at the top of the draft. But then who's his next pass catcher, after that? You have to go way down to find his next one. Drake May. He doesn't have any top pass catchers. I know Drake May runs a little bit. Jordan Love, his first two guys are both right in the 90s. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Which one is wrong? Are the receivers mispriced in either BTJ and or Travis Hunter not going to pay off their price this year? Or is Trevor Lawrence probably severely undervalued if both of those two guys pay off their price? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. We are in a 30 second. Sorry, we are in a 30-second eliminator. I do not see anybody that I recognize. That's okay. Sometimes that's a good thing. I love drafting with you guys. But most of the people watching streams right now and talking in the chats know what they're doing. So when you get them in the room with you, you got to watch out. There's other sharp drafters. So sometimes it's nice to have a room that nobody's in. I think we're going to stick to what we've been doing the last couple nights, which is one eliminator and then a super flex. I really want to get my eliminators up. It is definitely a contest that I've been super into this year and plan on having a lot of. The Superflex puppy is filling at a pretty decent clip, so definitely want to make sure I get some more volume in there as well. So we'll kind of stick to that. Let's see what we're going to do here with the first pick. Trying to mix things up a little bit. There's a couple ways we could go with this. CMC just went. Ginty could start out a little slow. He pulls Neighbors up. We're going to go Puka. He's got a week 8 bye. Nothing wrong with the Puka start in any format. What is up, Nick? Sorry you missed the draft. We'll be drafting another one if you want in. Probably do Superflex next. I know you got your Superflex cherry pop the other day. How'd it go? I missed it, man. I was busy doing stuff with the kids. Did your draft turn out all right? This draft seems to be these guys taking all day with their picks. Maybe we should have did a 20-second one. Sometimes on stream, I just like that extra time, though. I had nightmares about the draft last Thursday night. Got my eye on somebody here. Hoping he'll come around. We'll see. Let's see. Puka has a week 8 bye. Let's see what this guy does. I think we're either going to go London or JT. And I think we're going to go London. I've been telling myself that I want more London and I want more Penix. Atlanta's offense, I'm super, super high on this year. And I have a lot of Bijan. I have a good amount of Mooney. I don't have enough London and Penix. It went better than I thought. Having Steve draft was amazing to learn from. Yeah. I still need to get him on the channel. We just haven't been able to link up on days and times for sure. What do you think, Nick? I was talking at the beginning of the stream. I was looking over some stuff Saturday night, and I think we're wrong about either Trevor Lawrence or his receivers. What I mean by that is, BTJ is going into the first round. Travis Hunter's going early 40s. Yet, let's hypothetically say they pay off their price tag. Both of those two produce to a level that you're okay drafting them where they're going. You also have Strange at 130 something, which isn't high, but I mean, it's still a little above like Ertz and Freiermuth, guys like that. And so this Saturday when I was looking over some stuff, it just kind of dawned on me that like we're wrong about it either way. Like if BTJ and Hunter pay off those prices, then I feel like Trevor Lawrence is being severely undervalued for where he's actually going in the draft right now. There's a lot of QBs that are ahead of him that we should probably be taking Lawrence over if we expect BTJ to be the 8th best wide receiver and Travis Hunter to also be wide receiver 27 is where he's going. I don't know, honestly, which side we're wrong on. I'm really high on BTJ. I'm out on Hunter. I haven't really been in on Hunter this year at all. I probably should draft some more Lawrence, though, since I do like BTJ a lot. That way, if I am a little wrong about Hunter, maybe that could be a way I capitalize off of it without actually drafting Hunter, is having more T-Law. I don't know, just something I was thinking about this weekend. It's a sharp point. I think generally the QBs in the 100 to 130 range are underpriced, and T Law fits that. Could see him have a top 6 year. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And that's part of why a lot of times I do avoid elite quarterbacks. I've been taking more elite quarterbacks in the Eliminator if I get a chance to get like Lamar or Allen at a good price. But if I don't get Lamar or Allen, generally I do wait and just try to get three because there's so many good ones back there. But we'll look at the list in a minute. I just feel like if Hunter's going to be a top 45 pick and BTJ is going to be a 1-2 turn guy and they pay off, then yeah, Trevor Lawrence should be going ahead of a lot of those guys. This is tough. Well, he went anyways. I was about to say I really liked Kyron, but he also kind of is on Puka's team. I don't really like team stacking the eliminator that heavy. We're going to hope Tyreek keeps his head on straight. I don't generally start 3 straight receivers in an eliminator. But if Reek is Reek, then he's mispriced in the 3rd round and he fell a little bit past ADP, so we'll jump on it. Need to probably grab us a running back here. We should be able to hopefully get one of Mixon or Cook. Cook's been falling. Everybody's afraid that the holdout is going to be a huge deal. Mixon's probably going to start falling because everybody's freaking out that Nick Chubb is going to actually take his job, which is freaking insane in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. I couldn't pass it up. We'll try to catch up at running back, make it work. I figured one of these two guys would fall, and they both fell. Everybody's overreacting to both of them. Everyone's overreacting to Cook contract stuff. They're going to get something worked out. I think Le'Veon Bell already showed us back in the day that sitting out a whole year is really bad for your career. So worst case, he'll just play and then he'll be pissed off and then he'll not want to re-sign next year or whatever and go somewhere else. But he's going to play football for him. People are going to already, I see in the Discords and on Twitter, people overreacting to Nick Chubb possibly going to Houston tomorrow. That's insane. He's not going there to in any way take Mixon's job. They love Mixon. He is simply going there because we have no true backup running back. Dameon Pierce is not that good. I say we. I'm a Texans fan. Dameon Pierce is not that good. And the guy that they drafted, Woody Marks, isn't a guy that if push comes to shove and Mixon's out for a few games, he's not the type of guy that you really want in there trying to hold it down. Sorry, I forgot to put it on the board for you guys. So they're overreacting to that. We're liking it so far. We smashed receiver with Puka, London, and Tyreek. James Cook is our first running back in the 4th. We will probably try to hit running back up again as we come back around here in the 5th. This is an eliminator, so we definitely want to make sure that we have us some nice little running backs that we can count on early. Let's start seeing what we can get. There are a few names on the board that I would not mind at all. Somebody will probably take him, but if Kittle falls to me past ADP like that, we may have to jump on old Kittle. But somebody's going to take him. Think we're going either him or Hampton. Hopefully both don't go in the 2 picks before us. One of those 2 guys we would really like to get. And it looks like we will get one of them. Technically could have had both of them. Nobody after us has tight ends. I think we will go Hampton. That's more than 10 picks past his ADP. So we will jump on that. That is a little mini value hound, which we always enjoy getting. This team's coming together nicely. We got some pretty dang good values. Got decent little drop on Hill. Hampton's was real nice. People don't want to take Cook. Probably looking running back again here. Henderson is a guy I keep telling, another guy that. So basically, every Saturday night, I don't stream on Saturday nights. And one of the things that I do on Saturday nights, what's up, who? You answered wrong. No big deal. One of the things I do on Saturday nights, since I don't stream, is I try to reconsider, stances on guys. And when I was looking over some ADPs and stuff, tell me what you think, who, and we can talk about it more tomorrow. We're wrong on either the Jags receivers or Trevor Lawrence. And what I mean by that is if BTJ pays off a 1-2 turn and Travis Hunter pays off, what is his ADP? About 43, 44. He's going as the wide receiver 27. If both of those guys pay that off, you also have Strange, who's, he's in the 130s, but still going ahead of like Ertz and Freiermuth a little bit. If those guys are going to pay off their ADPs, then Trevor Lawrence, I think, for as far down in that, let's say, quarterbacks that go picks 100 to about 135, 37, whatever it is, that huge pool, Trevor Lawrence is near the back of it. And I just feel like either either Hunter or BTJ are not going to pay off their price tags, or this guy is being severely undervalued and probably should be further up that QB list. I'm really in on BTJ myself. Y'all know I've been out on Hunter this whole time, this whole draft season. Well, not season, but basically, since post draft, I'm not drafting him in the 40s. I think if anybody doesn't pay off their price tag, it's going to be him. But I was also saying that I don't have a lot of Trevor Lawrence. And so I'm purposely, especially in these eliminators where I don't necessarily have to worry about him necessarily being stacked, or I could always throw Strange on there as a tight end. I'm going to start trying to get more T-Law because I do feel good about BTJ. And so my thinking is if BTJ just performs well enough that he's a good pick where he goes, and if Hunter is even close to paying off his, taking more Trevor Lawrence can be a way that at least my Hunter fade, or me not drafting Hunter doesn't hurt me as bad if I can kind of make up for it, hedge my bet a little bit by having like some Trevor Lawrence, because I do think their offense will be pretty good. Their defense isn't super great. I don't know, just something I was thinking about the other night when I was looking over ADPs and stuff. I don't really know what I want to do here. Let's see. No. What tight end are we at? Don't want to go quarterback yet. I think we're going to pull up Golden. He's my favorite of those receivers. He does have the week 5 bye, which also coincides with London. But our running backs don't have week 5 bye so far yet. So we'll just try to watch week 5. We definitely won't take any more receivers with a week 5. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We're going to keep it here. It's moving kind of quick and right back to us. We were kind of thinking Jordan Mason there, but he went. I don't really like Debo. All right, whatever. You know what? I'm doing enough of these eliminators. We can get a little risky in one of them. I'm gonna try to set up a Penix double stack in the eliminator because I didn't like anybody else that was there. Probably, I don't know if it's a smart idea, especially them having an early buy, but we'll go for it. We'll see what happens. We're about to move from the 8th to the 9th. Sorry about that. Hope everybody had a great weekend. If anybody did anything exciting, let me know. It was a pretty chill weekend around here. Did some yard work. Me and the wife went and watched a movie today. It was pretty good. Other than that, just a normal weekend. Let's get music going. I'm going to hop back over to the players list real quick. Still trying to see what we want to do with our quarterback room. I'm not really. I guess we could. It's kind of working out. We got some really late options at QB that would be nice stacks. So I think we might just try to do that. There's some tight ends coming up before too long that we like. Let's see. We're up to 5 receivers, but we want to kind of be deep with this team at receiver, especially having 3 guys on week 5 bye. That's going to be tough. We're going to make sure we get us a couple running backs that we feel pretty good about, who also don't have week 5 buys. And we're definitely not going to take any more receivers with a week 5 bye. Let's see. The guys after me, 4 receivers, 3 receivers. If Pittman goes, we could always take Shaheed. So I think if he doesn't go here, maybe we get lucky and by week 5, Scatterboo takes over the job. I know a lot of people are high on him. He's a guy I was trying to rethink my stance on this weekend too. I know Steve and the FanSpeak network in general are really high on him. I haven't been super high on him, but I'm also not necessarily super high on Tracy. I have taken more Tracy than I have Scat, that's for sure. We definitely like the way this one's coming together, though. I don't think we want any of those guys. Probably here we're going to go with either Shaheed or Pittman. We're just going to go late tight end with this team probably, or late-ish tight ends with this team. Again, preferably all three of our tight ends will not have a week 5 bye, as we do have the 3 receivers with the week 5 bye, and it's an eliminator. So we're going to try our best. There we go. I was hoping I could get Pittman there. It's almost 10 past ADP. That's a nice little discount on him. But the plan is, since we're trying to set up the double stack with Penix, we also have Tua as an option at quarterback. Jordan Love we could put on the team. No, we don't want to go Love and Penix, and I'd rather have Penix. Oh, maybe we'll take T-Law, like we talked about, as our first quarterback. And then we could take Penix as our second, maybe throw on Stafford as a third, since it's a Puka team. That'd be a nice little QB room, I think. I'm really liking this eliminator though so far. If I can play the ADPs right, and I can get the 3 quarterbacks I would like to have, I'm liking our running back room. We're not really worried about tight end. We'll just throw probably 2 tight ends, maybe 2 tight ends, because I want to do 3 quarterbacks. So maybe we don't completely punt them, but just get two tight ends that we feel good about. There's some tight ends late in the draft that, if you build the rest of your team right and you feel like you're super strong at receiver, running back, got you maybe 3 quarterback build that you like, there are definitely some tight ends that you can get later in the draft who, even though they go later in the draft, they're not going to win the week for you. But between the 2 of them, you can probably piece the room together decent enough, I think. Don't think we're quite to where I want to take one yet, though. T-Law's 128. We might be able to flip him around, though. I don't know. The BTJ guy's back there, and he just took Dak. So he probably would take Trevor Lawrence there. So if we want Lawrence on this team, we would have to do that. Then we could have Strange as one of our late or one of our tight ends. Quit it. But we also like Ray Davis. He would be a nice little 5th running back. Another guy that could help us on the week 5. I think if Ray Davis is there, we'll take him, because we don't have to take Trevor Lawrence on this team. We definitely want to try to get Penix. We could always do Tua and Stafford as our other QBs. And you don't have to stack your QBs in an eliminator. It's not the end of the world to have an unstacked one. which if Ray Davis stays, I think he's the play. I would really like him as a 5th running back. That's what we're going to do. Trevor Lawrence would be unstacked. It's an eliminator, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. If you missed it, we were talking about him and the Jags at the beginning. Hey, what's up, Steve? Really want to get you on the channel sometime, man. Just reach out to me and let me know what nights work for you. Haha, who Hames? I answered wrong as well. Who Hames? I'm in another Superflex draft. Got the 101. The Superflex man, Steve. Oh, wow, that came back to us quick. They flew around the corner on that one. We're going to go ahead and take Penix here. We set it up. We set up the double stack. It could pay off. I think I'm working it well enough. It does scare me that London, Golden, and Mooney all have week 5 bye weeks. We purposely, since we decided to double stack Penix after we already had Golden, we purposely made sure none of our running backs we drafted after that had week 5 bye. So right now we have 5 running backs who should all be on the field, who could help cover those week 5, cover that week 5 week. Puka will be on the field. Tyreek will be on the field. Pittman will be on the field. I think we're going to be all right week 5. We're not as worried about it anymore. For sure, yeah. Just let me know. Let's see. It's the long way around. Probably if we can get them to come back around 150. We have Tyreek. Maybe we can get Tua to come back to us. Stafford's always there. We also want to try to get Strange as a tight end. Well, not anymore. That was whenever we were going to take Trevor Lawrence. But we ended up going with Ray Davis because we knew Penix would come back around to us. I didn't think Trevor Lawrence would, though. I knew the BTJ drafter was going to draft him there at the turn, but it's all good. We didn't want him that bad. We'd rather have Davis on this build. Makes more sense for Davis. Steve, if you're hanging around still, I'm probably going to draft a super flex next after this one, if you guys want to hop in that. Quarterbacks are coming around, so we might be able to work it out and get Tua. This guy has 4. He won't take it. There's a couple guys with only 1, though. They could. People don't take quarterback. People will take quarterbacks unstacked, but Tua is one of the few guys that generally, even in Superflex, I mean, even in Eliminator, you might not want to take unstacked. Where'd the Waddle drafter go? I didn't see him. Oh, well. It'd be nice if Tua came to us here. And then if we could turn around and get Stafford to also come. Where's the Devontae drafter? Let him be on the back side of us. No, he's right there. He has 2 quarterbacks, though. He might not take him. And if we miss out on Stafford, it wouldn't be the end of the world. We could always get Geno or somebody if he came. We're going to take Tua with Tyreek. If Tyreek is hidden, it's because Tua's healthy. Let's look at the team. It's a 2-5-6-0 right now. We got to start getting us some tight ends. Penix and Tua. Running back room is Cook, Hampton, Henderson, Scatterboo, and Davis. Normally don't do that. I normally don't take Ray Davis with Cook, but I don't know. He was the best value on the board, so we took him. Puka, London, Tyreek, Golden, Mooney, Pittman. It's an eliminator. You know, it could work out. Davis was only our 5th running back, so we're not counting on him. But then if Cook misses a game or two here and there with a sprained ankle or something not major, we get the handcuff in there. Looks like a decent chance my 3-quarterback plan will work out for me. Unless this guy takes him, which I think this guy was actually the Devontae drafter, so that is a real possibility. But he did not. So we'll grab Stafford. We like that QB room. Penix, Tua, Stafford. Tua and Stafford are skinny stacked. Penix, we have the double stack on. We got to get some tight ends on the way back at some point before they're all gone or we're just left with complete junk. Because we really like the way this team's coming together. Be fun. Working through round 14 here. No other teams to really call out. I didn't recognize anybody's name in the draft. I don't think it's anybody that's in the chat. We're trying to finish this one off. We got one going that we like. Trying to plan out the rest of my picks here. Let's see. What are we in? 15th. Just switched to the 15th. 4 picks left. Probably leave it at... Probably go 2 tight ends. For sure 1 receiver. And then either an 8th receiver or a 6th running back. I wouldn't mind having a 6th running back since I did do the Cook-Davis thing. Essentially, it's like having 4. I don't know how many weeks they would both hit our lineup. And I don't do that often. It felt... I just was feeling it tonight. It could work out like we talked about. See what we want to do here. You guys know I've been in on Leggett. I think Tech could help open things up for him. But that said, we really need to grab us. We could wait a little longer maybe on tight ends actually. We are going to go ahead and take one more running back. Shipley's still on the board. And I just really love his upside. If a Barkley injury was to happen, I think he'll be a smash. And I actually think I was talking with somebody the other night. I think it was when Hartman was on Friday night with me. I could see a world where Shipley has a few usable weeks even without Barkley being injured, because Barkley had so much of a workload last year that I think if Philly, they had the deep Super Bowl run, Barkley had all of that work last year, I think there's a decent chance that maybe this year, especially in games whenever maybe they're up and they're winning, they want to kind of, save Barkley for another playoff run. And so you could potentially see Barkley, not play as many snaps as he did last year. Shipley get on the field because they're up 2 touchdowns, that type of thing. Let me see. What do we want to do here? Keenan Allen just went. That's the guy that we wanted to take. I guess let's go Mike Gesicki. We need a tight end. I don't think I want to leave it at 6 receivers with all 3 of those guys having week 5 bye. So we need one more receiver. At least that would give us 4 wide receivers to cover 3 spots on week 5. We don't want to just have just the 3 receivers. We'll have to see who comes back to us. I wanted Keenan Allen there. I was going to take Keenan Allen, but he went right before the pick right before me. That's who I really wanted there. So we just went with a tight end instead. What you guys been drafting today? I know Steve's been in the Superflex rooms. Anybody else drafting right now? We like the way this one is going, though. It's definitely a keeper. 3-6-6-1. We're going to end it as a 3-6-7-2. Penix, Tua, Stafford are the QBs. Cook, Hampton, Henderson, Scatterboo, Davis, and Shipley as the running backs. Yes, on this particular team, I handcuffed Cook with Davis. Puka, London, Hill, Golden, Mooney, Pittman. So far, just Gesicki as our tight end. Took a little bit of value on him. Finish it off with a receiver and one more tight end. Maybe we could do either Sanders or Schultz, I guess. Although I really don't like Schultz. And that's coming from a Texan fan, so that should tell you something. Could go Mason Taylor if he hangs around. I just feel like I think this year could be a good year for Sanders. There's a few different tight ends I like there, so we're going to actually hop back over here and try to grab us a receiver. Who can we get to help us out in week 5? Mike Williams back might be able to hold up for 5 weeks. Or we could go 2-2 since we have Stafford and Puka. Let's go 2-2. I don't normally do a lot of double stacking in eliminators, but this one we are. Stafford with Puka and 2-2. We'll grab a tight end to finish her off. Probably Jatavion. We should get one of those 3 tight ends. I'm okay with, if I have to, Schultz or Chig. I would prefer Jatavion, I think. Or maybe we could go Schultz. Probably shouldn't be as out on him as I am. I take more Sanders. Let's go Schultz. Why not? That's the team. It turned out a 3-6-7-2. We feel good about it. We can survive some elimination weeks with this team, I think. 3 QBs, Penix, Tua, and Stafford. Got both the Bills running backs with Omarion Hampton, Henderson, Scatterboo, Will Shipley. Receiver room is really strong. Puka, London, Tyreek, Golden, Mooney, Pittman, and Tutu. Two tight ends are Gesicki and Schultz. We kind of punted tight end with this team because we were trying to do some other things pretty much throughout the rest of the draft. We liked it though. We feel good about that team. I hit the wrong button and it kicked me out of StreamYard. Give me 1 second. We'll get it back up here. My apologies. Still kind of a rookie at this thing. We got it back on track. It's not the button that I meant to hit. This is the button we meant to hit. We're going to hop in a super flex now. We'll do a 20-second one. If anybody else wants to hop in a super flex, 20 seconds in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get us a super flex going. 10 spots, plenty of spots. Come on in. What's up, Disbanded? Good to see you, brother. We just hopped in a 20-second super flex. If you want in, there's plenty of room. Steve says he's in. That's always fun. I got to bring my A game with the super flex king in there. Appreciate you stopping in too, by the way, Steve. You've been on catching a lot of my streams lately, and I appreciate that. If you guys don't know, which I'm sure you do if you found my channel, but Steve and his sister, they run the Fan Speak Network. It's a YouTube channel. They put out some really awesome content. They do the drafts like everybody else. They have guest drafts. They got their Jeopardy that's on Wednesday nights. That's really fun. That's pretty entertaining to watch. Y'all are doing some great stuff over there, Steve. Quickly becoming one of my favorite channels. Steve's got good articles on his Substack too, if you didn't know about that. Waiting on 4. There's room for a couple more. Yeah, for sure. Anytime, man. Y'all got good stuff over there. I do enjoy it. Hames will be on the channel tomorrow night. Not sure what we'll be drafting yet. Another really sharp dude. He's been on my stream one other time, and I really enjoyed having him. It was good talking to him. I'm sure y'all heard me say it before. Back during the school year, he was my 4 o'clock savior because I'd always be in the car taking my daughter somewhere. And they want to listen to Taylor Swift and Ava Max and all that nonsense. So I'd put my earbuds in and listen to Hames. Are we best ball sickos or what? Went saw that Final Destination movie with the wife this afternoon. If you liked the first one way back in the day, it's definitely worth a watch. It was a good movie overall. I enjoyed it. Pretty cool scenes in there. We got our field. I'm sitting at the back end in the 12 hole. Steve's got the 4. If somebody else is in here, you'll have to let me know. I don't recognize any underdog names. but I'm still learning them. With Steven here at the 4-hole, it might be hard to pull off my favorite strategy. And I don't tell me what you think about it, Steve. I did it with Hartman the other night and told him to trust me. And it worked out pretty well. But when I'm on this 10, 11, and 12, it doesn't always work out. It's about 50-50. But generally, I like going position players with my first two picks because there's generally two studs there that I just like better than the quarterbacks. But then I will hit quarterback up with my next three picks in a row, assuming it's kind of 50-50 down to, like, let's say Ward and Geno. 50% of the time in that 11 and 12 spot or 10 spot, you can get one of those guys to come back to you as your third quarterback, which obviously means you had two quarterbacks better than them also. And I don't know, I just really love my teams that I've built where I got a third one to come back. So we're going to keep trying to do it, I think, just because I cannot make myself draft like... I probably should draft more Baker Mayfield, honestly. But whenever like CeeDee Lamb and Christian McCaffrey are still there, it's just too hard for me to take a quarterback over them. I like it even more so from like the 10 or the 11 where you can get like Gibbs and JJ and then sometimes McCaffrey back also. That's just what I was saying. Yeah, I prefer the running backs. Although, I'm not afraid to go receiver early. I just don't draft as many. And like if I get CD, I'll probably get some other receiver I like after I try to get some quarterbacks at some point. But then, end it at 5 or 6, something like that. 5 or 6 that I feel okay about. It just depends too how the room works. There have definitely been times where I do it like this and you don't get that third quarterback to come back to you, and then you kind of gotta hope you get lucky with some stuff with taking backup quarterbacks. Jones is always an option though too now, and he goes still a little bit later. What is Jones? I bet his ADP is flying up this board from where it was before the AR thing. Yeah, it's up to 90s. I think he was like 120 or something before the AR news. Steve with the Jalen Fields start. Nothing wrong with that. Both have rushing upside. Hurts is Hurts. I'm really in on Fields this year. He is definitely a guy that I've been drafting a lot. See what's going to come around to us here. Hopefully, everybody else will be nice and save some decent quarterbacks for our top 2 at least. As long as I get 2 that I like, for sure. A lot of times it's like the CJ, Trevor Lawrence's that'll come back to you. Penix. If I get like 2 out of, say, Lawrence, CJ, and Penix, then I generally at least feel okay about doing this type of start. Steve with the third quarterback, Dak, says he's just going to lock up those 3 studs. And that'll happen sometimes. Sometimes the front half of the board will make you pay. But we should still be able to get 2. I'm not that high on Goff this year. Hopefully somebody takes him so I'm not even tempted. There you go. We were talking about the Jags at the beginning. So we're going to go with T-Law, and I'm actually going to reach down for Penix. No, I'm going to take CJ. Let's go T-Law and CJ. CJ's got some receivers that go later that I can look to pair them with. Steve, I'm curious, did you hear me talking at the beginning about Trevor Lawrence and the Jags? I'm curious your thoughts on that. Basically, what I was saying is I think we're either wrong. I was looking over some stuff this weekend, and, BTJ is going 1-2 turn. Travis Hunter's going pick 43. And I think either Trevor Lawrence is being severely undervalued and he should be higher up the QB board than what he is, or somebody's not paying off their ADP. BTJ, I feel good about him paying it off. I haven't been in on Hunter this year, so I feel like if anyone doesn't pay it off, it's probably Hunter. But if BTJ and Hunter pay off their price tags, then Trevor Lawrence is pretty undervalued where he's going, in my opinion. Yes, I agree. Although I kind of said it jokingly the other day, like, what if it's really Baker that's the OC whisperer? And I said it jokingly. I just remember that, like, last offseason, everybody was talking about Canales is the OC whisperer. And so everybody was, he's going to fix Bryce Young, which, granted, Bryce Young eventually started looking good. It took a benching along the way. But eventually, later part of the year last year, Bryce looked a lot better. But what if it's more so just Baker figured things out and he's making these offensive coordinators look a little bit better than what they are? I'm high on Cohen. It's totally a joke. I'm high on Lawrence. I'm high on BTJ. I think Lawrence is maybe a little undervalued. I do think Cohen will be way better play caller and way better coach than what they had there. Their defense still isn't that good. So they're going to have to be throwing the ball around. Hunter's the guy that I think will probably not pay off his price tag, though. Steve pairs Wilson with Fields. Grab Chase Brown as a running back. Now it's going to come down to, will the room leave me one of Stafford, Tua, or Ward? There goes Stafford. The two guys right in front of me have 3 and 2 quarterbacks. There goes Tua. So this one we might not get it, which I told you it's kind of 50-50. Sometimes you can get Ward to come back to you. Sometimes he does not. If he does, we'll grab him. If he doesn't, we'll draft some running backs. Pretty simple. If he does, we'll take him and a running back. Hey, looky there. We got lucky. I didn't think he was going to make it, but he made it. So we'll take him. And we'll take Omarion. He's a guy I've been in on this year a lot. CD and McCaffrey, we started. We got our 3 quarterbacks to come back to us. Lawrence, CJ, and Ward. Not the best of quarterbacks, but we also started with CD and McCaffrey. Grabbed us another running back with that 6th-round pick. We'll see what happens as it comes back to us. Hey, look at that. Steve agrees with me that T-Law is a little mispriced. I don't know. I don't stream on Saturday nights, and generally that's what I do after me and the wife watch a movie or whatever. That's generally our at-home date night. We just kind of hang out and watch TV, but she goes to bed generally way earlier than I do. So last Saturday night I was in here and I did one draft, but I was looking over ADPs mostly and doing my homework, doing some research and stuff, and it was just a thought that I had that like something's wrong there. Either Lawrence is way undervalued or somebody could be a little of both. Trevor Lawrence is definitely probably still undervalued and could have a really good year, and BTJ pay off his price tag. Strange could be a decent little tight end for him, and then Hunter have an okay year, but definitely not pay off wide receiver 27 price. I think that's the most logical outcome to me, and that's why I have not been in on Hunter this year. But I do want to start taking more Lawrence because that's kind of a way that I could hedge my Hunter bet too, that like, okay, if Hunter actually pays off his price tag without, let's say, a massive BTJ injury for a long time, then the only world in which BTJ pays off and Hunter pays off, Trevor Lawrence just went absolutely nuts. And so at least if I have a lot of Trevor Lawrence by the time it's all said and done, then in a way that's kind of hedging my Hunter fade. That's the way I'm looking at it, at least. Walker's another guy I'm really in on this year. Steve took him in the 6th round. There's one guy that jumps out at me, but I do not think he'll make it back. But I would love it if he does. Nope, there he went. James Conner just went. I don't really like anything here, to be honest with you. We just talked about how much we do not like Travis Hunter. I guess we could go ahead and take Calvin Ridley for a stack with one of the picks. I had slowed down on Swift for a while, but with the news today that Chubb looks like is signing with the Texans tomorrow, which I like for my team, that is the team that I root for. If he's got anything left in the tank, he'll be a nice little RB2 for us. We don't need him to be the guy. We just need him to be the backup. And with there being a chance Dobbins goes to Denver, if it just stays Swift and Roschon and whatever that other guy's name is that's there in Chicago right now, I can't think of it off the top of my head, or if it's just like a camp cut that they bring in, then like Swift definitely is going to get a lot of work. Maybe they use it as like a Roschon as the David Montgomery and Swift as the Gibbs. Not in any way saying Swift is anywhere near the player that Gibbs is, but just the workload, with Swift doing more of the outside runs and pass catching, and Roschon being the more of the up the middle Montgomery type. So I think I'm starting to get back in on Swift now, as it looks. I was worried about Chubb or Dobbins going there, But now it's starting to look like they're not. I haven't drafted any Roshan, but I probably should. Especially if Dobbins and Chubb go somewhere, then I'm definitely probably gonna start taking some Roshan. I guess the way I was playing it was like if Dobbins or Chubb did go there, I think they hurt Roshan the most, and Swift would probably still have a role. So that's why I had been kind of drafting Swift. But then I was starting to get to where I probably had a little more Swift than I wanted, because he's not a player that I just love or anything. He's not one of my guys for sure. So we had slowed down. We haven't really taken him a lot the last week or so. Steve went Jackson Dart in the 8th, grabbed Pollard in the 9th. Start looking at what we want to do. We're sitting with the 3-3-2. T-Law, Stroud, and Ward. McCaffrey, Hampton, and Swift. CD and Ridley. We took Ridley mainly because he stacks. There's a couple running backs on here we like coming up. If they hold, we wouldn't mind grabbing both of them. I always do that. If one of them go, we could go with Andrews. Eventually, we want to try to maybe look for Higgins, but not anytime soon. Both of the guys at running back we wanted stayed. So I think we're just going to go ahead and double tap them here with Mason and Warren. That's a really strong 5 right there. McCaffrey, Hampton, Swift, Mason, Warren. I like that running back room. We do like that running back room. We're in the 10th. It's a 20-second super flex. Steve's in it with us. Don't recognize anybody else. If you missed it earlier, this week we have Who Hames on tomorrow. Wednesday night, we're starting a little earlier than the 10 o'clock time we normally do. We will be starting at 9:30 Central Wednesday night. We have Cody from Off the Snide. It's going to be a guest. I haven't done anything with him yet, but I've caught some of his streams here and there. I know he's a big Bengals fan. It'll be fun times. You know, that's part of, I always talk about, that's part of why I decided to start streaming was, 1, it seemed like it'd be fun. 2, I'm going to be sitting at my desk drafting best ball teams at night all summer anyways. And 3, it's just a good way to reach out and connect with other really sharp, good best ball drafters and, talk some ball. Pick their brain a little bit, discuss strategies. So far, I've really enjoyed everybody I've worked with. It was fun going on Candyman's channel the other day. I was on with him. We've had Hartman on here a couple times. Who Hames has been on here. Enjoyed my show I did with BBG a couple weeks ago. That was fun. Oh, hey, Steve, I know we've been trying to work out a date, man. I just put it across the bottom of the screen. I don't know if you've heard me talking about it before, but that could be a date if it works for you. June 20th. I'm trying to put together this 6 to 7 hour stream starting at about 6 o'clock Central Time that Friday night. I'm going to be going out of town the next week. And so I want to do something big before I go out of town. Hold on, I'll talk about the plan here more in just a second. Let me look and see what we want to do here. I know one of them that we're going to do for sure is that. We can probably wait on tight end. He could be a bring back for the CJ game. Or we could play the late season upside of Ayuk. Let's go with Ayuk. It's a team stack with McCaffrey. We don't need Ayuk to start strong for us. We just need him to finish strong for us. But anyway, Steve, if you're going to be in town on the 20th, get with me. That could definitely be a day we get you on the channel. The plan for it is I'm going to try to line up starting at 6 o'clock my time, a guest for every hour, 6, 7, 8, probably go through 12. I haven't decided for sure if I'm going to make it 6 or 7 hours, but we're going to do a BBM marathon. We're going to have a different guest on each hour drafting BBM teams. Hey, what's up, Sun God? Good to see you stop in, my man. Hit the like, and I know you're already subscribed. Yeah, just let me know, Steve. If you're talking about in the Discord, man, I kind of got busy with helping the wife with something, and one of my kids was up and wouldn't go back to sleep. She was having a little rough night, so I hadn't been in the Discord since earlier. Steve tacked on a couple receivers. Steve went with this man Scat. He's about the biggest scatterboo bull that I know. The man has been taking him with conviction all draft season so far. Nothing wrong with that. I definitely get my guys as well. So I respect it very much. Let's look at the team. We're liking it so far. It's a super flex. We got the 3 QBs, T-Law, CJ, Ward. We started running back and receiver with McCaffrey and Lamb. Our running back room is CMC, Hampton, Swift, Mason, and Warren. Receivers right now are Lamb, Ridley, Higgins, and Ayuk. We would love it if Kirk would slide to us here. We'll see if he does or not. If not, we still need tight ends. Strange could be an option since we took T-Law. I don't know if I want to grab another quarterback on this team. Probably just wait. Maybe tack on one of the backups that go at the end of the draft, if anything. I'm just going to leave him. We're definitely going to take Kirk as a double stack. I have 5 running backs. I don't love any of the guys there. He probably won't come back, so we're going to go ahead and go Kirk for the double. Pull up Strange a little bit to pair him with T-Law. We at least got a little stack for all our guys. We got Ridley with Ward. We got CJ doubled. Strange with T-Law. We got Ayuk because he kind of fits the McCaffrey build. We're liking it. Feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, but we're on pretty much every night except Saturday, son. Generally 10 o'clock is when I start, 10 o'clock Central. Sometimes if I have a guest on that needs me to tweak the time a little, like Wednesday night, we're going to have Cody from Off the Schneid on the channel. He asked me if I could start it a little earlier. So we're going to be starting at 9:30. But we're here every night, man. Come on in with us. Draft some teams. I always welcome to chat to draft with me. Always fun times. Guess we could flip back over to the board. Steve grabbed him a couple tight ends. Been a nice tight end run in the 14th round. That's why I went ahead and took Strange there, because I wanted to get him to pair with T-Law, and I knew he wouldn't come back to me. I had a feeling we were about to hit a little tight end run. So I definitely think it's a good call, because he would have been gone. There goes Eckler. Steve, what do you think about how everybody's on Twitter, and if you're in Discords, I don't know how much you're in Discords, but everybody is freaking out that Chubb is going to hurt Mixon. And I just, as a Texan fan, I don't see that being the case. It makes Marks, I think, kind of dead. But Chubb is coming in just to be the backup. I mean, he's not taking any work that they were planning on giving to Mixon. They just don't want to go into the season with Dameon Pierce, who hasn't been good, or Woody Marks, who kind of profiled more as a change of pace, third down type back. They don't want to go excuse me. They don't want to go into the season relying on one of those guys. To be their backup. I really like my running back room. I feel like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys that are probably usable every week. Mason even maybe makes a 5th. So I think we can swing for some upside here. Let's see, are there any receivers that I like still on the board? Could go with Pat Bryant. You know what? Let's grab one more running back and then just be done at running back. If we want to go Dobbins or Wright. Let's go Wright. We'll just be done at running back. We got 7 of them. It's a heck of a room. McCaffrey, Hampton, Swift, Mason, Warren. Then I threw on Giddens for his upside if there's a JT injury. Wright, kind of the same thing. We like our receivers for the most part for a super flex team. CD, Ridley, Higgins, Ayuk. This is a nice little drop on Ayuk. Scooped it up. We got Kirk also. In the 16th round, it's winding down. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking. But as soon as the news came out, especially in a couple of Discords I'm in, everybody was like, oh, this hurts Mixon. This hurts Mixon. No, it doesn't. I think if you follow Davis Maddock on Twitter, he had a perfect little post about it. What did he say? He said, I forget it now. I'd have to go find it. But basically was saying like we thought Chubb was dead, and now we all of a sudden think he's gonna come in and hurt Mixon. It's kind of crazy. Both cannot be true. I didn't do it justice. It was kind of funny, his tweet, if you saw it, but I didn't really do it justice. Guess it's one of those funnier when you see it versus me just talking about it type things. We're trying to get to 100 subs here in the next few weeks, guys. I told y'all when I first started streaming that I was going to be a man of the people, and I actually talked about this at one point. But anybody, if you're not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. When it gets closer, whenever I hit 100 subs, anybody that's not already in the streaming, doesn't have a channel, isn't streaming, will be eligible. But I think what I'm going to do is a subscriber draft. Anybody that's eligible, I'm going to make a post on Twitter when we hit 100 subs. And any of my subscribers that is interested, if they, probably like and retweet the tweet or something like that, comment that you want to be in on it. Everybody that says they would like to do it or wants to be in on it, I'll put all their names in a hat, something, probably draw them on stream one night. And whoever's name I draw will get to come on my channel one night and draft, I don't know, at least one BBM. We might do 2 BBMs or maybe like an eliminator and a BBM, something like that. I think I'm going to do that for every 100 subs that I hit. I say people that don't stream already just because you guys stream already, and thought it'd be a cool way to, if some of the people who are subbed but not into the streaming game were interested in something like that as just a one-time thing to do, might be kind of cool for them. So we could just go with Sanders here. I was hoping also could still use a receiver. We got 5 though, I guess. Let's see, what are we at? 17 and 18. Yeah. We're done at running back. You know what? This is definitely the type of team. Lamb, Ridley, Higgins, Ayuk, Kirk. This is definitely the kind of team we just want to go ahead and throw Allen on. I still think Keenan Allen's going to sign somewhere and play football. We have 2 picks left. One will be for whatever tight end comes back to us that we like. And then we'll also probably take a shot on a backup quarterback just to throw him on there. That's probably how we'll end the team. But anyways, we'll talk more about the subscriber draft thing as we get closer. So spread the word. Get your friends in here. Sub to the channel. We're getting there. You know, we didn't start until like the second week of May, so I feel pretty good for where I'm at. Appreciate everybody's feedback. Everybody's had some pretty good feedback to my channel, I think. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Y'all make it a lot of fun. What's Steve been up to over here? Took his tight ends, then he just started hitting up more receivers. He only had 3 receivers before that: Wilson, Mooney, and Bateman, Thielen, Palmer, Dobbs, and Slayton. Nothing wrong with that at all. We'll look at his team and my team at the end. We'll talk for a minute, and then I think we're going to call it a night. I got some stuff I got to get done in the morning. You all right over there, dog? My dog's over there choking. Not really, but she sounds like it. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. I need to text somebody back real quick. Oh, we better see what we want to do too, as we are on the clock. We could go with Arroyo. I like him as an upside third tight end if he holds. Strange and Sanders, I think, can hold the room down till the rookie gets it going. If not, I don't really know who we want to do. But he held, so we can start looking up what backup quarterback we want, which one of my favorites is Mariota. I think we'll do that. With Jaden's play style, he could definitely get banged up a game or two here and there. And that's the team. We finished it off with the 4-7-6-3. Feel pretty good about it overall. We got some nice correlation. Trevor Lawrence, CJ, Cam Ward, Marcus Mariota's the QBs. CMC, Hampton, Swift, Mason, Warren, Giddens, and Wright. It's the running back room. Pretty solid. CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Jaden Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Christian Kirk, and Keenan Allen. Pretty dang good receiver room for a super flex, if you ask me. Strange, Sanders, and Arroyo are the tight ends. I'm going to wait a minute till the draft actually finishes so it doesn't kick me off of his team, because I like to call the teams out on this team view here. But we'll definitely go through Steve's team real quick before we call it a night. Appreciate you drafting with me, Steve. It was fun. I would be lying if I didn't say I've been trying to catch as many of your Superflex streamed drafts as I can. Because you clearly know what you're doing, or at least you had a lot of success in it last year. And, you know, I like to learn from, or not learn, but I like to see what other good drafters are up to. It's how we evolve. It's how we get better. Let's go look at his team real quick. It stayed on it for us. Didn't make us get back in it. He finished with a 4-6-8-2. Pretty similar build. Hurts, Fields, Dak, and Dart. Excellent QB room. Wait, I thought it was over. Maybe it wasn't over because it just switched to me again. Running back room of Brown, Walker, Kamara, Pollard, his boy Scat, and Smith from Kansas City. Receiver room, Wilson, Mooney, Bateman, Thielen, Palmer, Dobbs, Slayton, and MVS. I see you throwing MVS on a whole lot with your last pick. Goddard and Ertz are the tight ends. Pretty good looking team. Super strong QB room. Should carry the team pretty dang well. Plenty of power firepower at running back. Good enough receiver room for super flex. 2 tight ends that should be able to hold the room down between the two of them. Definitely was a fun draft. I'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll have Who Hames. Not sure exactly what we'll draft yet. We'll talk with them and see. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to call it a night. Talk to you tomorrow.